This is a free lesson from our video course Dockerless. Check out the description below for the link to the course and a special promotion for subscribers of the channel. We should start our path to understanding the Dockerless world by talking about Docker. Judging by the title of the course, you might get an impression that I'll try to tell you that Docker is bad. I won't. Docker is a great tool and it has dramatically improved the developer experience. If there is a single tool that has skyrocketed the container usage in the world, it's Docker. There was no lack of various ways to isolate system resources before the initial Docker release in 2013. LXC appeared back in 2008, chroot command appeared decades ago, Solaris zones were released in 2005, and FreeBSD jails exist since 2000. But just like virtualization, containerization was a bit of a Wild West. There was no open standard, just lots of different approaches and technologies around the general concept of resource isolation without the full virtualization. Ironically, it took another tool in this messy landscape to eventually get us to the proper standards around containers. Docker focused on the ease of use and the development experience. It became very convenient to spin up containers, build container images, and shortly after that, deploy them, even to production. In fact, it was so enjoyable to use Docker that the adoption of containers exploded. As a result of this explosion, the line between what containers are and what Docker is became very blurred. When someone wants to say tissue, quite often they would say Kleenex. When someone wants to say containers, most likely they would say Docker instead. Kleenex the company is also making paper towels, diapers, tampons and whatnot. It's very easy for us to draw a line between Kleenex the tissue and Kleenex the brand. We say pass me some Kleenex and most likely we will get a relief for the greasy hands. We realize that Kleenex is just a widely accepted name for a particular type of a paper product. If we will see the tissue from another brand, we won't get confused, we will still know what to do with it. But is it the same with Docker? What do we mean by saying Docker container? Is it some generic container or is it something Docker specific? What about the Docker image? Do we know what's the real tissue behind this? There is nothing bad with the Docker. It was and it still is a great tool. And the company behind it keeps improving this product from both the usability and security points of view. So this course is not about getting rid of Docker, but it is about seeing beyond Docker. During the same period of time when Docker was making containers more popular, containers themselves became standardized. The industry, including the Docker company, managed to move beyond different implementations of the same idea, figured the most popular patterns and approaches, and came up with the open standards around how containers should be built and run. But before we talk about those standards, we need to make sure we understand what containers really are. This will be the topic of the next video.